allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bomb-thirsty air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
It gives me great pleasure this evening, because this evening we were, and we are, going to pay a great happy birthday to Albina Wcela, who unfortunately had an accident and is presently in Southside Hospital. She is recovering from an operation, and I talked to her this morning, and as I told her sons and her daughter-in-law, she was so upbeat and was concerned. Remember that I had gone to Florida and asked me how my vacation was, and was concerned about me, and concerned even about this evening, because she was upset that she wouldn't be able to see the slides, not realizing that we were going to celebrate her birthday, her 90th birthday. She is just a fabulous lady, a mind that is so alert, and it did my heart good this morning to talk to her. She made my day. It made it real easy for me to do other things today. I would like to take now the opportunity to welcome the Wcela family, the relatives of Mrs. Wcela, who so graciously came this evening to be with us to help celebrate her birthday. And we're going to do that in absentia, and we have, before I will introduce the Wcela family, I would like to introduce to you Council Norman DeMott. Mr. DeMott is one of the fortunate ones who was in the Islip Suite, and he is now going to again represent us. For so many years he has represented us. Norman DeMott. I would like to introduce to you this evening Monsignor Emil Wcela. And Monsignor, will you step up next to Mr. DeMott? And then, hopefully, somebody else can run that machine there that Joseph's running. Because Joseph Wcela is Mrs. Wcela's second son. And yeah, he is the younger one. Of all of us. And John, can you run that? Yeah. Okay, good. Now, I would like to introduce Barbara Wcela, Mrs. Wcela's daughter-in-law, and Emil's wife.
Joe's wife.
I'm sorry. I can really start a scandal, can I? Oh. Is that being recorded? Joseph's wife. Well, I know that the wedding day is the same time Abel was ordained.
3 weeks later.
Right?
Close.
Close. Okay. Close. All right. Make amends. Well, Emil, I give you a big listen, force you right down. Barbara, please stand up. And then the gentleman now who is taking over for Joseph is John Kavarik, and he is Mrs. Wcela's nephew. And then his wife, Margie, is on the corner there. Please stand up, Margie. And then we have Bert Tevenka. That's Mrs. Wcela's niece. And another person we have here this evening is Mrs. Slanet, Louise Slanet. And Mrs. Wcela and Mrs. Slanet go back to when they were, I believe, young children, like 6, and they have been girlfriends all these years. And Mrs. Slanet is right next to Bert Tevenka. She was, yes, Louise Yush Slanet. Okay? All right, Norman, if you'd like to take, you want the mic?
Oh, I think you can hear me, can you?
Yeah. Okay.
Good, that's great. First, I'd like to say I'm terribly sorry the recipient isn't here tonight. And I have a car, I'll travel. I even would have gone to the hospital had I known to give this to her personally. But this is really a great privilege for me, especially after winning that election you spoke about. And I want to thank each and every one of you people here that were kind enough to remember me when you pulled the lever. And I hope I'm going to get through this, because I'm kind of tough when it comes to Irish names. But I've met this lovely lady. In fact, that's the first time I met the Monsignor, just recently. And you're right, she is a wonderful person. But then how can you expect any different with a crowd like this? He has a lot of good friends. So, on behalf of the town board, the new re-elected supervisor, my colleagues, I have this citation which reads, whereas we are rarely afforded the opportunity to join in the celebration of residents' milestones, and whereas it is our privilege to present this citation to Albina Wcela as she observes her 90th birthday, and whereas Albina has taught us the importance of adhering to a strict discipline, compromise a blend of benevolence, compassion, and stick-to-itiveness. Whereas she was born on November 3rd, 1901, and whereas the lifelong resident of Bohemia is a great-granddaughter of one of the co-founders and is herself a charter member of the Bohemia Historical Society, and whereas she has not only been dedicated, involved in an important part of this community, but has made it proud by raising one of the most prominent citizens, Emil, Auxiliary Bishop of the Eastern Vicariate Diocese of Rockville Center. And whereas she has not only enjoyed the longevity of life, but has maintained a keen mind and has an independent spirit. And now therefore we, the governing body of the town of Islip, do hereby pause to congratulate Albina on this very special day, as the occasion is celebrated by her friends, family, and neighbors in Bohemia. We too add our best wishes to you and enjoy a happy 90th birthday, and I'll add at least another 10 more. And God bless her. On behalf of the town clerk. I don't know whose wife you are yet, but
Take pictures while they're still all.
May I just say thank you to Councilman DeMott and to all the members of the town board for the citation, to all of you for coming together this evening. As it was explained, my mother's doing pretty well. She was sitting up and doing therapy on her leg this morning, so hopefully it won't be too long before she's home again. So thank you for your prayers and good wishes, and keep them up.
Thank you. Honoring Mrs. Wcela this evening, I can recall many of her informative kitchen meeting. I have always been able to go to Mrs. Wcela to find out about families here who resided in Bohemia years ago. If I have an inquiry, I can go to Mrs. Wcela, knock on the door, and I'm always welcome. It is such a good feeling because she has told me information about my own family that I probably either did not remember my mother telling me about or not ever knowing that this was part of my history. So again, I am always so happy when I can go and visit. They have been very generous. The Wcela family have been very generous over the years that we have been formulated to support the Historical Society. And it isn't hardship when I call and ask Mrs. Wcela, will you be in the Memorial Day Parade? So I'm really sorry she can't be here, but I shall make a trip to the hospital to see her, and I know that Joseph and Emil and Barbara and the rest of the family will convey our good wishes to her. We have a special birthday cake which will be taken home by the Wcela family, and it can be shared then with Mrs. Wcela. The cake was specially made by Adele Maroney and the Cerny Bakery, and we thank you very much for doing that because it's such a special cake, and we will bring it out to show you. Plus we have these flowers that are everlasting, just like Mrs. Wcela, and we want the family to take those. She wouldn't have to worry about watering these, and maybe, I know how great she is on that housework, and she'll just probably dust them off a little bit. But again, I can only wish her many, many years because she's just an inspiration to me to keep right on going. And as I said, this morning, I think I was a little bit frayed out, and when I put in that call, and she was so upbeat, it was, I could go on, you know, I could make everything work out, and it did work beautifully. So again, to the Wcela family for letting me share your mother, I really appreciate it. And I know the Historical Society does too. We're going to conduct a very short meeting, a business meeting, and then we will go into our party celebration. We have Al Clifton, one of our members who is on the recovery list, and I'm happy about that. I have Anna Miller, who is here this evening. She's our program chairman. She just recently had an operation on her arm, on her wrist, and she's doing well, and she must be doing well. She's here this evening, so I'm very happy about that. Mrs. Rose Emma has had a knee operation, and we will be sending her a card. She is home and doing well. And then Rose Harrow, one of our members, her sister just passed away today, and we will express our sympathy to the Clem Harrow family. Anna Clem Simonek, is it, Scotty? Simonek passed away, and she is an aunt of also of Scotty Paula Castro. Norman, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for always coming out, always being in here in Bohemia to be part of the organization, because your support, your advice, your help, your assistance is valued by the society and by the board, the officers and board of the Bohemian Historical Society. So thank you again for being here, being part of this celebration. We have our correspondence secretary's report, sure that you can all see. You know, I'd like you to move your seats before, you know, we put out those lights so that you can see. And then we will continue on with the party and finish up.
I wanted no, I just want to tell everyone the little kit that I've been using over the years to take the family pictures is just about ready to go. And if anyone has any pictures, I think Ruth would have pictures that I could take of the Creek Lover family. Yes, no. everybody should bring in their pictures or call me, and I would be delighted to add to this, because I think it's good to have a sort of a file system on the old family. So if we could have the lights out, I was hoping Mrs. Cello would be here so she could help. If any of you could offer any information on these people. I don't know much about them myself, but if anybody can offer a little comment, I would be happy. Rose, I know you would be able to. So let's put out the lights and go, and let's see if we're in sync here. I thought we'd open with a very patriotic picture. We don't have it. Could we have the lights out? Here we go. I think everyone is familiar with this particular item. It's a crochet flag, and the lady who did it, of course, is or was the mother of our treasurer, and this was a picture taken from one of Marilyn Kussnow's files. I think if you read on down, you'll see that she made 7 or 8 of these flags, and I know that recently the American Legion has disbanded, and they have one of those flags, and if anyone can approach them, probably we could get it for our museum to be. Now, this is a picture of one of our post mistresses. We had Mr. Nohowitz was the first one, Mrs. Bardick the second. And I don't know how many of you remember her. Can anyone make any comments about Mrs. Anson Bardick? She had the store on Church Street, and also the post office was in that store. Gladys and Elaine Ruth were good enough to send me pictures of their mother and dad. They also were the postmaster and postmistress at one time. I'd like to get pictures of Vicky Hummel and Evelyn and Helen and George Slovak, if anybody could contact those people. The only person, the first cop in the town, or anyone that had any, let's see, what can I say here, was hired by, I think this is a town cop. Can anybody help me here, please? All right, very good. Okay, and no one, I think, knows that Sam was a vaudeville actor, and he was on Broadway and toured the country also, and his 2 daughters grew up with Mrs. Cella. And I believe the girl on the left was Louise, and the girl on the right was Anna Stuckel. Louise married Jimmy Willis, and I think, is Anna still around? Is Anna alive? Thank you. Anna's husband was Billy Stuckel. Now, Gladys, could you help us here?
Yes, that's my brother. He's running for
I just don't know where that was taken, but Anna had that in her album. These are album pictures, and there he also ran for assemblyman, and I think he was in the superintendent of highways, right? Here he is. Now, I believe that's Mrs. Knyako. Does anybody recognize Mrs. Knyako at all? Yes. And she used to teach us the Bessida in her cellar in the middle of the 1930s. You see, I thought Mrs. Chala would recognize all of these people. Mrs. Fry, do you remember any of these?
Yeah,
Is
that's Mrs. Knyako.
it?
Yeah, she used to live on Stokestead.
And there's a picture of Ann and Bill and their invitation to the inaugural ball in the background. This is a picture of your dad, and could you tell us something about your dad, Gladys? But what office did he hold, or? Well, it would be nice if I could get some more pictures of him. Why? This is a big hunt of 1920, and I believe they were allowed to go into the Sportsman's Club area. Can you recognize anyone there? I think it's in front of the CSPS wall, right? And this came from Wilma's album. That's her dad, Charlie Kavarik, and I think that's Tom Toomer. Is that Tom Toomer, Wilma?
No, that's Mr. Tomei.
That's Mr. Tomei. She knows how much I know.
But that's my dad, and that's Mr. Tomei.
This is George Cleaver. He was another town patrolman. And later on, his son also became a patrolman, and he brought these pictures over to my home one day, and I did them up for us. And this was Mrs. Emmer, or the Fisher, originally the Fisher Meat Market, and then Mr. Emmer came along and took over. But these pictures are just great. This is the inside of the meat market taken in the early 20s, and that's Mr. Emmer and Mr. Fisher. I don't know if you remember them. They are in the backyard. Now, that's a wonderful picture. I think it's a happy picture, and it brings back memories to all of us. I see Freddie up on the right-hand corner. I think Mr. Scagno. Can anyone recognize anyone else? And there is their first meat wagon, and that's Little Honey, or Rose Emmer. I think Rose was born in 1924 or 25. And there is their next meat wagon, which is the, I think it says 1925 on the bottom there. I beg your pardon? Oh my. And there is the beef on the hook. I don't know if that's Mrs. Emmer or not back there. This I took from the Suffolk County News, and it was an 1891 edition, and it shows some of the stores that were here. It's Leslie's Grocery, the Howard's Hotel, the schoolhouse, and the church. The round circle there happened to be a murder at that time here in Bohemia, and the round circle was where the body had been located, but I thought the stores would be interesting to see. Now this is the Navratil wedding, and I thought it would be so lovely to see the gown, but Mr. Navratil was one of our first, or was the first barber. Could someone help me out there? My cousin Carolyn remembers having her hair formed at the Navratils. No help there? We have two other carousels, and we use one for the schools. The carousels are slides, and I don't know what the other one has on, but this was just families. I have a great many slides of school groups that I'd like to show some night too. And this is the Navratil's daughter, Maria Adamek, and of course her husband Eddie, and this is Lori and Faye's mother and dad. I love the wedding gowns. And yes, could you tell us who they are? And there is a family. I think this is a gem. I wish we had more pictures of the families here in Bohemia so we could have files on each one. This was another father, Mr. Chichek, and I was talking to Joe about him the other night, and he's a volunteer fire department here, a volunteer of the fire department here in Bohemia, and he gave his life in the raging forest fire in the Southside Sportsman's Club. They wanted me really to put on there that he was a flute turner, and of course that he belonged to the Suckles, which is a Bohemian gymnastic group. And now this is Mr. and Mrs. Shavanka. Mrs. Shavanka was a Biohonic girl. Mr. Shavanka was an enterprising businessman here in our locality, and his dad had the first store here in Bohemia, and he started it, I believe, just where Lincoln Weigel's home was on Locust Avenue, and it was the first school building. And in 1910 he became ill, and Cyril took over the business, and he, much against his will, he didn't want to, but he developed it into quite a business, and finally built this building, which is now the Bohemia Deli. And this is a picture of the inside of it in the early 30s. And of course, here we caught him in the back playing pinochle with Mr. Christoph, Henny Janet, and Cyril. And you see the soups there is all sorts of chicken soups, Campbell soups. And this was another butcher that we had in the area. And I think this is a house just next to Elsie and Barney's. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. And I don't have any pictures of the Shirneys. I'd like an early picture of the baker shop. There's Joe and Fred Shirney. And this was Mr. Miller, who came from Lindenhurst. Yes. He sold everything, and we used to call him Coney Island. And I got in touch with his daughter, and she lives in Lindenhurst, and I went over and took a few pictures of him. This is Chick Chaka. This is from Marilyn's collection, and Chick was instrumental in getting together the little Bohemia history book that we have. And this was their home. I was hoping Marilyn would be here this evening, because that's Marilyn in the little baby carriage out front. And this is the group. This is from Marilyn's group. Anybody recognize those ladies? Could someone name them?
I'm in the corner.
Way up there is Elsie. And Aunt Fanny.
That's who I thought it was.
And here's a group with Mr. Bond, who was loved by us all. Elsie, do you see yourself there?
No, my sister is there. Gladys and Darcy.
No, Elsie Tomei.
Elsie.
But it was 1942. That's quite a while ago. And this is the erection of the building inside St. Luke's, and you see Mr. Benedict on the left-hand side. This is the men working outside. Again, these are from Marilyn's scrapbook. And there is Uncle Otto up on the roof when they moved the little church over to join the parish house. And there is the laying of the cornerstone with Joe Belshonic and Winnie. This is Eddie Zajac. Eddie used to have Little Bohemia with his mother during the 30s on Walnut Avenue. Does anybody remember Little Bohemia? Eddie was instrumental instrumental in starting a band, and of course there is the Sheikha or the Bardix store in the back. I really don't recognize any of these people. Did anyone have an uncle or a brother or anyone in this particular band? No. Now this is Mr. and Mrs. Fake. I think Mrs. Fake's face is just full of, I don't know, but it makes you happy to look at. Mr. Fake was a auto mechanic, and during the time that the Vanderbilts were racing on Motor Parkway, he was very much involved with them, and he evidently was one of the mechanics that Vanderbilt hired to take care of his racing cars. I wasn't aware of this.
Justin,
Yes,
that was Dorothy, Fake Fallon's grandparents, right?
yes, yes. And there's Dorothy in the front there, sitting on her mother's lap, and that's the Fake's home in the back, and that's Locust Avenue, just across the way from Wookalex, if you remember Wookalex. This is the gas station that was there. Of course, it's gone now. That was in the 30s also. And this is the Tomei family. Elsie, could you help us out? $1885 anyhow. Yes, but the curtains are lovely. Everyone look in the background. Locust Avenue. Yeah. And of course, this was your dear. And this is from Willie Bartnick. Many of the photos, the older photos, you can wash off and get the grime, but the top one is a tintype, and I couldn't clear that up very well. That's the only photos I have of the Bartnick family. I thought we'd all like to see Millie and Frank Christoph. I don't know, do you recognize anyone there? And there's Rose and Emil on their 50th wedding anniversary. It's very precious. I haven't any pictures of the Hrabaks. I think they're in the other carousels because they were such good pictures, but this is the only one I have left of Mr. Hrabak. And there was Mrs. Hrabak. And, oh dear, something didn't go down. Across the street was Foxy Rushichka and his wife. His wife was a Russi from Islip. They all had the greenhouses. Now the Pauls had greenhouses and the other Rushichkas had greenhouses. I'd like to get pictures of that group. And there's Dottie and Andrew. And there's Rosemary and Dottie in their little outfits in 1928. And there again is Cyril Shavenka playing cards with Foxy and Mr. Russi. This is a picture of the Tuma family. And of course, Mrs. Chella was very friendly with them. And there's Mr. Chella and the council from Czechoslovakia up on your left. And in the middle is Mr. and Mrs. Tuma sitting down, and Frank Kubovets, and I don't know who the other person is, but a build. I think there was a build in this area. Louise, do you remember any of these? The builds?
That was the maiden name of Mrs. Thoreau's bill.
And there's Dr. Bukalek. Dr. Bukalek was a physiotherapist, and he helped my grandmother to walk. I know that. My grandmother used to come for treatments. And that was directly across away from the fakes on the corner of Karshik and Locust Avenue. And there's Jenny and Besseville. Do you remember that, Louise? And there's the Biehonek house, and I think we had more fun at this house than any other house in Bohemia when I was a kid. They were a happy family, and they had the farmyard, and I don't think I ever heard a crossword in there. There were the Sobchak boys, and Bernie Weigel, and one of the Biehonek girls across the way. I think that's Bondrashik's house. Is it, or Begoraz? I really don't know. Now, Gladys, could you tell us what this was all about?
Not really, because I can't really see the faces too well.
No, Gladys Stumple? Gladys Smith?
Huh?
That's Mrs. Fuka on the right. It was in the Biehonek album. And there's one with Carl Poswine from Sable. And there's a picture of Sable High School from the 30s, taken from the plane. And there's Bessie and one of the Croper girls. Which Croper girl is that?
Dorothy, isn't it?
I don't know.
It looks like Dorothy.
We had a lot of masquerades, and they were fun. And Emil's father played at most of them.
There's a car, I have to just interrupt, there's a car blocking someone. What is it, security? It's a Pontiac? Is that out in front or on the side? So whoever has that car will have to move it because they have to move out. It's a Pontiac 83U 809? Okay. Thank you.
Now, those are the Weigel brothers, and I think Mrs. Fry can tell us something about that, but
Well, one of them is Joe, but the other one isn't Weigel.
No.
I think that's Joe Fuka. Joe Kruger, isn't it? Joe Kruger, yeah.
Joe Kruger?
Okay.
all right, if you look in the background now, that's where the Bohemia drug store is right now. I can remember a great sign being there when I was a kid, but right now, of course,
What building is that?
that's the school.
When they were the old school, the Legion building. The Legion building. Oh, yes.
Now, there is the Weigel family. Mrs. Fry, could you tell us?
Well, that's my father sitting down,
And that's Grace's grandmother and
my grandmother in the middle, and the gentleman on our right is my mother's brother from New Jersey. And on my grandmother's, on our left is my uncle.
that's one of the, that's Grace's grandmother and one of her uncles.
That's another family.
That's another one of them. And that's Winnie. Grace and Grace.
But here,
That's Gracie in the front on the right.
my uncle, my mother, my grandmother. And that's my mother's sister on our right.
My first grade teacher sent us this picture, sent me this picture. There's Wilma in the middle row, the second one from the left, and I'm the fourth from the right sitting down. That's the first and second grade. This is 1928. She was nice enough to send these from New Jersey to me a short while ago. And then she was head of the Girl Scouts. She's upright, in the upper right side with the hat on. Wilma, do you recognize anyone there?
No, but on the other picture I see.
Carolyn Hasselbauer is in the middle with the pleated skirt. Was you in that group also?
Yeah. I was Girl Scout, yeah.
And these are the pictures she sent me of the faculty at the time she was here. I think Mr. Keyes was the principal, and Miss Maystrick, Orwed. I don't know any of the others. Do you recognize them?
No, but I remember Mr. Rose. And Miss Maystrick. Now, who are the other two? I don't know.
No, I don't know either. I thought this would be a happy picture. These are the Swander boys from in 1922 with Robert and Alfred in the middle and Richard on the side. I think Alfred lives in Brentwood and Richard lives where, I don't really know.
They died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And Robert's in Levittown.
Oh. Okay, these are the founders of our village, and of course that's Mr. Barbara in the middle. And I don't know, when did he come to this country, Angel? Could you tell us?
I think it was in 1855. Wasn't that it was commemorated?
Well, he came directly to Bohemia, though?
Yes.
Yes. And this is the Barbara. These are the pictures that Angel allowed me to take from their album. This is a Barbara Benedict house, and this is on Ocean Avenue.
Yes.
Is that Aunt Benedict's house?
Yes. Yeah.
Aunt Benedict's house.
Right. It's about.
And this is your grandmother?
Yes, my mother's mother, Minnie Benedict. She was the daughter of she was the granddaughter of Jan Barbara.
I think that's a beautiful picture. And I'm sure this must be is this Albina? Is this your mother?
Yes, yeah.
I wasn't sure. I thought they probably it was Minnie or your brothers or your uncle. I don't know who Gussie was. I was assuming that was your mother, Angel.
No, they're relatives. They were part of the Kanyakal family, which was another side of the family.
I see.
Grandfather's side.
And
That's my mother in the middle, and then that's on the left is her brother Charlie, and on the right is her brother John, who is the father of John here.
oh my. And this is a picture that I told Louise about. Louise, do you see yourself there? You're on the right side of the teacher, and Mrs. Chella is on the left side of the teacher as we're facing the picture. Do you see yourself there, dear? Okay. Was 1909? What grade were you in, Louise? Notice the flags. It's the Czech flag. It isn't the. It's a Bohemian flag. It isn't the Czechoslovakian flag. It still didn't have the blue area in it from Moravia. And I think there are 46 stars in the flag, the United States flag. But look at the shoes. And everyone had, this is what Mrs. Charles said, everyone had to have a pinafore and hold their hands out every morning to have their hands inspected, their fingernails and their ears. And she said the first few days of school, after the first few days, she was punished and she was sent to the closet. And while she was in there, she was looking around and found a little bag on a shelf and took it down and ate the teacher's lunch. This is Albina. I think she's kicking up there a bit. And that's Jessie Tillman, was it? Oh. And I'm wondering if that's Ocean Avenue. I imagine this is courting days, and that's Louise Wunroshek and the two Kavaric boys, Mr. Chella and Mrs. Chella. This is a beautiful wedding picture. I love wedding gowns. I love to look at the detail on them. And would that be someone's father? Is that John's father?
It's John's father, right?
Yes.
My father's sister, Mary, in fact.
Is she the one that married Frank
She
Swisler?
married Frank Swisler, the
Oh, the
butcher in
butcher
East
in
Islip.
East Islip, yes. And I love the picture of Mr. and Mrs. Chella, but I love the picture of the cars in the back. This is their home. It was built, I guess, 1925. My grandfather built the house.
Still on that corner.
Yes, and there's Emil and Joe. I think Emil, that was your first Holy Communion Day. And he's still involved with the picket fence. He's maintaining that. And I think these were the highlights of your mother's life and your father's life, Emil and Joe. Beautiful. The wedding gown again. And there's your dad. And I'm sorry, I think we have in the other carousels your father in the different plays, etc., when he was playing the piano with his orchestra. And this is certainly a highlight. You see, I took off the children there. I'm sorry. I couldn't fit them all on. And Emil, this is your coat of arms. Would you explain it to us, please?
Well, it's based on a Czech flag turned upside down. So you have the corner and then the two bars. And on the right-hand side, the wavy blue lines and the white blue lines stand for water. And then the B on the red plate is, of course, our name Cella means bee, so it's all the bee in the island. And then the top one, the book and the star are from the seminary, when I taught in the seminary. And on the left is the Carpenter Square, and the lily is the St. Joseph.
Thank you. Grace and Peace came from where?
From St. Paul.
From St. Paul. I think he started all of his epistles with that.
Right.
And this is the, I think we have many pictures of this. This is the only one I have left of the group. And that's Mrs. Chella and Mrs. Adamek, Bill, Mr. Tomei, and Mr. Tepola, and that's the end of it. I have two photos left here, and could I see if I could get this on this? It was taken in 43, and it was when the parachutists were jumping here at MacArthur during the World War II. And I couldn't get it enlarged, and I was waiting for a ride to the airplane, and all of a sudden I looked and I saw them jumping over the golf links. Their commander gave them the wrong place to jump. So, thank you. Please now bring in your family pictures so we can have files on others.
Thank you for taking all this time to set up our slides for us so that we can see them. And when Mrs. Schiller gets well, we'll bring her to see them
I'll
again.
take them over to
Yeah,
her
so that
home.
she can see them as well.
And
so we thank you
Let
for
me tell you about Mrs. Chella. There isn't a time that I don't call her that I'll say, Mrs. Chella, and she'll say, yes, Justine. And I called her at the hospital, and I said, Mrs. Chella, and she said, yes, Justine. So my voice must be distinctive, really. Oh. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was
do now, again, thank you, Justine, for doing the slides. I think now we'll break for our refreshments. I would just caution you to be very careful when you do go up for refreshments, only because you get entangled in those chairs. And I'd like to request our guests of honor to be able to go up first, and then the rest of the membership follow along. Yes, Laurie? Father Wcela and Joseph, if you would go up and do honors at the cake, and John will have to take over with the video. Because
Were you able to get some of that with that poor light? Yeah, huh?
All right, if someone that smokes have any matches, light the candle.
Oh.
Okay, Laurie, you're going to guide that along? It's a little unusual to have the men do the honors, but we felt that the two sons should do that.
I got a big head in this thing now.
Sorry. She's so excited.
Thank you very much. If the rest of the Wcela family, the grandchildren and cousins, would start to go up, please, granddaughter, grandson, and then we'll start.
Joe, just when you were cutting, you know what I got in there? One big head.
had to get it.
Macro or just...
I'm working on that hat. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. You got the Christmas hat.
Eating my day.
I got the next week. Laura, you don't feed her. Thank you.
My wife don't feed me at all.
Yeah, he's going to this. Look at Sounds like he's really say bye to Papa. Chris, say bye.
Just gonna get in there. This is what the birthday says. Happy birthday, Albina, 90 years young. So you take it home for her. Take it home for her. Oh, you're going to break your camera. You just like to do that. It's cruelty. Sure. We have the 90 in here. This is the 90 in here. Oh, we'll have to take another picture. Sure, hon. I'll leave it right there. Don't go off the seat. Hold that chair. See, because the chair doesn't. December 15th at Orient, Oyster Pond. Very nice. The whole historical. Don't you see the Oh, and then when you ride out,